phone with us Mr. Jeff Miller from the Vial of Life Project in California. Good evening, Jeff. How are you?
Hi there, Joe. I'm doing well. Nice to talk with you.
Nice talking with you, too, sir. I ran into your website. I don't know. I kind of got it somewhere around. You know, the Internet is an amazing thing because you find all kinds of things.
Isn't it, though?
And your project is a nonprofit project to help seniors. Am I correct?
That's correct. Seniors and anyone else who might need to have critical information either on their person, in their car, especially at home. So, you know, should the first responders, 911, paramedics, whomever come in and need to give you help, even if you're conscious and able to talk, often people are a bit freaked out and nervous when they're having a heart attack, a stroke, or have fallen.
People are nervous when they have a heart attack?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
What's going on?
Yeah, so it's basically a form. It's a passive device. In fact, one of your local papers wrote it up, and the Cleveland Clinic was speaking about us earlier as well.
Okay.
And it just states who you are, where you are, your Social Security number, and you don't have to fill in any of these if you don't want to, but as I forget the doctor's name from the Cleveland Clinic said, it's important to fill it out relative to referencing your medical records. And then what's your date of birth and height, weight, color, and all that kind of stuff. And we want you to tell us about your hearing because somebody might arrive and think that you're unconscious, but you just can't hear because your hearing aids are out. And they want you to tell you about your vision, because you might be legally blind or blind. Are you wearing dentures? Are you able to speak? And is your native language English? Or what is it? And if you're unconscious, they want to know about your identifying marks so that they make sure that the page they're looking at of information is indeed the person they think they're working up. And it also asks for your past medical conditions, your current medical conditions. Again, you don't have to disclose this, but it's there to help you and help them. Your medication dosages and frequencies. And this is a really important section, because a lot of seniors are getting multiple drugs from multiple physicians from all their ailments, and many of the pharmacologicals that they're taking are contraindicated with each other. And we suggest you take this form filled out and bring it to your pharmacist, who's one of the best at it, and say, are these all okay to take? Even I, who am physiologically wise, found out I had certain medications shouldn't be taken with others.
I found out that yesterday. I was taking prednisone and an antibiotic, and they said, wait a minute, you can get tendinitis if you take these two things.
Yeah, prednisone I've taken. It's one of my most unfavorite drugs, but it's a miracle drug, too.
Didn't do me any good.
Yeah, I hear you. And then it lists your allergies to medications, which is obvious why that's important, and who they should call in terms of your doctor and phone number. What was your last hospitalization? Any special instructions, such as health directives. You know, if you have a living will, I don't know what you call it in Cleveland, but in Ohio, but there are different states call it different things, but it's basically what are your express wishes? God forbid you get in a situation where you're just going to be on life support. And if you want something to be followed, it has to be in writing.
You need a durable power of health care and a living will.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah, California's kind of like that, too.
Which, by the way, you can print those forms off of the Internet also.
Yeah, you can get almost anything off of the Internet, even trouble.
But you don't need to have an attorney to write up a living will and a durable power of health care.
You absolutely don't. There may be a state somewhere that does, but certainly not in California and obviously not in Ohio. And then they want your health insurance policy because, you know, when you're not feeling well, even if you're conscious, do you know what it's like when you arrive in an emergency room and you've broken your arm or you've fallen and they want to know all about you? You just hand them the form. It helps out a lot. And any emergency contact information. But that's the beginning. Now, God forbid you've already had a heart condition. Should you arrive at the emergency room, or should the paramedics arrive and need to do a workup on you? For example, I'm a perfect example. I have what's called inverted T's as a normal condition. I don't really know what that relates to a doctor working you up, but they think I'm in trouble. But actually, when they see my previous cardiogram, they see that they're there and they're meant to be there. It's just my standard state. So if you've had a heart attack before, or if you're having a heart attack now and they don't have a previous reference point, it really doesn't tell them very much. So to get your cardiologist to take a photostat of your last cardiogram and stuff it in this plastic baggie, and we've switched to these. In 1981, I started this program. I didn't really start at the American Red Cross in Sacramento, handed me the program because they didn't want to handle it anymore. Nobody really knows where it really began. But in 1981, we started handing these out for free. And about 12 years ago, I created a public charity. We've just handed out our 3 millionth decal.
Now, I remember years ago, and as you get older, all of a sudden you start to think about this kind of stuff.
Indeed.
There was something called Vial of Life, and it was like a little red capsule with a white top and a chain on it. And it said, chain this to the refrigerator shelf.
Interesting. Now, when I first saw it, the Red Cross there were many implementations of it, and I now have both the public charity, the vialoflife.com, and the vialoflife.org, and it's my promise to keep it public so nobody can try to steal the name and say they're Vial of Life. We don't care who implements it. We just want it distributed widely. I used to know Bill Clinton through Roger Clinton in the 90s, tried to get Bill to put a penny or two away for health care for it to get everyone protected, but never got very far. And I kept trying to think, how can I get it to everyone? Because for me to send it to everyone that requests one is expensive, as you might imagine. Postage, and then if we used to use the vial, we used to use a prescription vial, a certain size bottle, and the normal way used to be to take a rubber band and kind of saddle it beneath the top left shelf. Then, of course, glass shelves came in. They might have been around then as well. And people tended to let them put them on the shelf rather than listen to directions. I know you couldn't believe that people don't listen to directions. And it would be hidden in the back of their fridge. Well, the paramedics are about, show me where your medications are now. And they're not going to wait around. So we came up and basically changed how people do the Vial of Life by saying, look, we're going to send you UV-coated decals that we print up in the hundreds of thousands at a time so that you can take these decals. You put one on your front door at eye level, so even if your local paramedics are not yet familiar with the Vial of Life, it clearly says on there, Vial of Life. See refrigerator door for complete medical information with a big white cross. Because interestingly, when I did them with the Red Cross, even though the Red Cross gave it to me, their general counsel 5 years later called to say, must cease and desist using a Red Cross. It's an internationally protected symbol. I said, but you guys gave it to me. And they said, well, how's that? And I told them, it doesn't matter, you have to change it. So now we have a red background with a white cross on it. Gets the same idea across. So they see this, and even if they've never a Vial of Life before, it says it large and specifically to them. The reason they're UV coated is after the first 3 years when we put them out on paper, because we had them printed on rolls with stickies, we found out when we went back to the house it was just a white sticker with nothing on it because the sun destroyed the ink. So now they're UV coated, they're on vinyl, so they hold up to weather. So you take this decal on the front, and you take another one with any normal kitchen baggie, I don't care if it's a Ziploc or whatever kind you have, and you put the other one on top of that baggie, stick it to it. This way you could fold in easily your previous cardiogram. If you have a health directive, the Vial of Life itself, smart to put a picture of yourself in there with it, and anything else that you might want to tell these people. You might have a long story. I remember back in the 80s, myasthenia gravis was an orphan disease. Not many people knew about it, and only one hospital in Philadelphia knew how to deal with it. So they needed their specific directions in there. Don't take me anywhere else. Take me to University of Pennsylvania or else I'm not going to be taken care of properly. Nobody knew what myasthenia gravis was. Now they know it more. So that's kind of how it works, and we've given these away for free to Johns Hopkins and Stanford University and thousands of municipalities, cities. We get fire departments all the time requesting them, wanting to implement it. They go, we used to have it, or we'd like to get it, or we just heard about it. It's really nice, and we've sent these out for free forever. And now, when we never ask for donations, and now we actually ask for donations on the site, but if anyone wants 10 decals, we send them out for free. We pay the postage. But it's a nice kindness if they give a little, $4 or $5. It helps us keep the program going.
Now, you put the sticker on the door, You put the sticker on the refrigerator and the sticker on the bag?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't complete. You put the sticker on the bag, and you tape the bag to the refrigerator. And the paramedics will take that bag with them when they go to the hospital.
Yeah, so now you got this bag hanging on the outside of your refrigerator.
Correct.
Oh.
It's the best place for it to be.
People don't like that.
Yeah, you like it if you're in an emergency, and the paramedics will like it a lot. If you want to put it inside, go ahead, but then you have the luck of the draw of them finding it, or fast enough. They don't wait around for things.
Okay.
Now, what I've done to make this easier to send decals, because what also happens, with one of the problems with the Vial of Life program, which is just a fabulous idea, I didn't invent it, I've just encouraged it and increased its usage, is these medications. Now, you can imagine a senior changes these all the time, and their doctors all the time. Well, if you have a static piece of paper where you filled in scribble, your medications, and they've changed 20 times, but you haven't kept it up, it doesn't help the paramedics. So I have a vialoflife.com site where you can either order some free decals or you can fill out a Vial of Life without us maintaining the information and print it out, so you can get a clean, printed out, typed form, and it expands. If you have 100 diseases, instead of being on an 8.5 by 11, it'll print out on 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, now, I'm on the website, and I filled out one of those things this afternoon.
Right.
Now, I'm afraid to put my Social Security number on there because now somebody on your end has a computer that's going to know my blood type, my...
Right. That's why I said you can fill out any part. I kind of smile with you. If you look at our privacy policy, I don't even know who's on my Vial of Life program. I know the quantity of people, but I don't know their names. We've promised not to use them for any purpose. But what you can do is, if you're worried about that, it's encrypted. But but let's face it, banks have been broken. Their encryption's been broken. For credit cards, you can print it out, fill it out without a Social Security number. Print it out and then fill it in.
That's what I was going to do. And it maintains. I did see that now you have to register to get on your site, right?
No, you don't.
Yeah, I had a member. You had to log in.
It's been a long time since I've looked. We're just redoing it again, but you can log in as a guest.
Okay, maybe.
So you can do it anonymously as well.
Yeah, but then if you want to save it, I had to log in with my email address.
You can make up a phony one.
Oh.
It doesn't have. We don't check your email address. Okay. If you have a problem with your password and you want to get back to the original data you put in, we can only send you your password if you use an email address that works. So you can really use it. But the key is, you, let's say, have this from Mom, who might be in Cincinnati, and Mom tells you she's got new medications, but she's not computer-wise, although I got to tell you, 84-year-olds are getting pretty sharp on computers these days. But, you might go onto Mom's Vial of Life electronic form, change it for her, print it out, and mail it to her. Now she's got a neat, clean, updated form.
I did this. I haven't printed the form, but I have it on here, and I filled it out this morning and kind of been looking at it, and it's kind of an interesting situation. You also say to put it in your wallet in your glove compartment.
Indeed. Let's say you're outside and you pass out. They'd be smart enough to look in there look through for IDs or anything they can find out about you. Same with your car,
Sticker, but you don't want to put a sticker on your car.
I wouldn't, but you can. I guess it depends how critical it is for you. Personally, I only have one in my home, to be quite honest, but we suggest these are places to put it. The doctor from the Cleveland Institute clinic, I forgot his name again, but he suggests that just this simple piece of paper or any piece of paper with this information is so valuable to them, and so often they don't have that kind of information available. So it's a good thing. Now, we are coming up with a brand new free application since we're now in the smartphone age, a typical little applet that you download for free, which will now let you carry this information on your phone so that when you get to the hospital, you can just open it up and they can look at it. Okay. And you can download it from the website or just program it in from your phone. It's easier to type it from a keyboard.